I welcome all of you here on behalf of SNN Company. So today we are here for this session. Let me just give you a quick brief. SNN Company is a leading accounting and management consulting firm that partners with businesses to tackle their problems in the businesses and come up with unique solutions. Today we have seen that the leading problem today is about how do we send our children abroad, where to send, when to send, which country to send, what happens once we send them, how do we send money to them, what happens if they earn there, what happens with the taxations, what happens in terms of currency risk to hedge, so many questions. But yes, sending children abroad has become a very common trend. I believe out of 10 children, at least not less than 2 to 3 are seen planning to go abroad for studies. So let us understand today a 360-degree view, a wholesome perspective on where, when, how to send these children. So here we have today with us very, very learned consultants who have been spending their lives across so many years helping people understand where and how they should be sending their children. Let's begin our session today. I have the privilege to introduce Mr. Bhairav Desai. Bhairav Desai is an Associate Director of India Business at Henley & Partners, the global leader in residence and citizenship planning for over 25 years, citizenship planning for over 25 years. Bhairav specializes in advising high net worth individuals and high caliber individuals, mostly across tech sectors and their families, with gaining residence and or citizenship in their country of choice to hedge against sovereign risk and enable greater global mobility. He has a global experience and have served across countries like North America, UK, Europe, Middle East, Asia, Africa, and Australia. He is graduated in 2000 with a double major in business administration and economics, successfully meeting the requirements of the international studies stream from Clark University, USA. He's also an MBA from Warwick Business Schools. So here we have him who is going to be today talking us about the various government programs and how do we easily get the citizenship of these various countries. So Bhairav Desai, the floor is yours. We'd like to know more from you.
Thank you so much, Nikki and Darshak, for setting this up, and appreciate all of you for joining this call. So I'm Bhairav Desai from Henley & Partners. We are leaders in residence and citizenship by investment. Our focus is residence and citizenship planning, and we also do program developments for countries, which means we draft and implement residence and citizenship programs for countries like Malta, Switzerland, some countries in the Caribbean, etc. The clients that we cater to are affluent to ultra high net worth, as well as governments worldwide who utilize our services. Our reach is very broad. We are a global company with 40 offices and growing, and our track record is exemplary. We have over 30 years in this business as leaders. So the main point was, you want to plan to send your children for education abroad. Would you like them to be able to work there after graduation? It's very common, as Nikki said, that at least a few out of 10 parents do consider this for their children. And it's also now becoming not only their undergrad, but postgrad, even sometimes junior school, if they are shifting jobs, shifting jurisdictions. US, UK have been very popular, of course, with the language, but there are always other options in Europe, which through residence and citizenship, you can access quality education and at 1/4 the cost. So the main difference is the USP of gaining a residence of another country or a citizenship of another country is that education comes at 1/4 the cost to your children. Some of the other benefits to our programs are for business expansion and just ease of global mobility. The Indian passport is fairly limiting. This will come up as a slide later on. And having a residence or a citizenship gives you a much more global footing in which to expand your business, explore business opportunities, and hedge against what is known as sovereign risk. So the Indian passport is ranked 85th and now has access to 60 countries. 58 has been upgraded to 60 countries, visa-free or visa on arrival. Just look at the table on the right. You have countries which are small island nations like St. Kitts and Nevis and Antigua or St. Lucia, which have an access to 156 or 154 countries around the world. That is a major disparity. You should not be limited by the strength of your passport to travel the world and to expand your business. So this is the whole premise of what we do. These are the countries that we offer. In North America, we offer Canada, the US. In the Caribbean, we have curated 5 countries. In the Middle East, we offer Jordan. In Africa, we offer Mauritius. We are in talks with Nigeria as well as South Africa to develop programs for their countries. In Europe, we have a very, very strong presence. We work with a lot of these governments. We offer countries like Austria, which started about 8 million in terms of investment, to a starting point of, say, Turkey or even Latvia, which starts at about 70 to 80,000 euros. Asia, we offer Hong Kong, Malaysia, Singapore. South Korea is becoming extremely popular, and Thailand for the residency program. Australia, we have a few programs, and New Zealand we offer as well. So apart from education for their children, a lot of people look at lifestyle, they look at security, they look at, especially those living in Bombay, the price of real estate in Bombay are fairly high. For the same value of, say, a 2-bedroom here at about 2.5-3 crores, you can get a lovely sea view estate in Greece. We've had a client who gifted his son a property in Greece and therefore gained a residence by it. So the family now enjoys access to the entire Schengen area. They can travel freely. They don't need a Schengen visa. They are residents of a Schengen area country, and they have empowered their passport by doing so. It gives them visa-free mobility. It gives them a lot of independence and, of course, security if they require it. I have made a few case studies. This one is the Australia Global Talent Visa. This is primarily for tech entrepreneurs. So the case study here is Mrs. Arora, who's a fintech entrepreneur. Mr. Arora is an advertising professional. They have 2 children who are school students. Now, assuming that Mrs. Arora qualifies for the high thresholds for the program, she can get a PR, which is the permanent residence to Australia, in 3 to 4 months. They have 1 year in which to travel to Australia to activate their PR. Their PR is for life, and they can always convert that to citizenship if they like. But they can also keep the PR going in addition to their Indian passport, and gain access to the education there for their children as well as the healthcare. So PR is just one level below a citizenship. They don't have the right to vote or stand for elections until they are citizens, but they have all the other freedoms of that particular country if they are a PR of that country. And there's no investment required in this particular case. It is only a talent-based program for senior level tech entrepreneurs across 10 future-focused sectors. Canada is, of course, very popular. They have a very robust program for the Canadian Startup Visa. Let's take the case of Mr. Kandade and Mrs. Kandade. They are automotive part manufacturing in that business. They have 2 daughters, both are students. Since they already have a business here which they want to take to Canada and explore the North American market, the cost of this is only $75,000 US. There's a processing time of about 2 years, and they have the right to live, work, and study in Canada. So both the students can access the education, lovely standard of living, and it's becoming a very multicultural and tolerant society. Canada is also known for being one of the most friendliest countries in the world. Portugal is extremely popular. A lot of clients opt for Portugal because apart from the 5-year residency period, it offers the optionality of converting that to citizenship, which means that you become an EU citizen, a European Union citizen, which allows you to live, work, study anywhere in Europe, which is a massive jurisdiction. One thing to remember is that for Indian passport holders, gaining multiple residencies is not a problem. You can have multiple residencies on your Indian passport. But once you gain a citizenship of another country, you have to give up your Indian citizenship. India does not allow dual citizenship. A lot of people continue to live, work, study in India. They just become an overseas citizen of India. There's a way to do that. It's a fairly straightforward online process. So coming back to Portugal, it's extremely popular. There's a threshold of about 280,000 euros and processing time of about 6 months for the 5-year residency period. The stay requirements are not heavy. In the 5 years, they're looking at only a minimum of 35 days. And this is where we have taken the example of the Patel family. So in this case, even the dependent parents of the main applicants, who are bankers, Mr. and Mrs. Patel Shah, have also been included in the same application under the same investment. We're also going to discuss one of the island nations of the Caribbean that I had spoken of earlier. This in particular is St. Kitts and Nevis. It's got a very strong banking infrastructure. The minimum contribution, in this case, it's a donation to the government, is $150,000 US with a processing time of 3 to 6 months. And obviously, a lot of people go for this because of the strength of the passport. So Mr. Saini and Mrs. Saini are retired. They have worked hard. They have saved up some money to see the world. The Indian passport is limiting them to see that. They have to keep applying to different agencies through the visa office, and it's getting to be a bit troublesome. In this case, they can just book a flight and travel to the country over 180 countries. 157 countries without any issues, where they have visa-free access or visa on arrival access. Right. So this gives them a lot of global mobility, a lot of flexibility. Once they become citizens of St. Kitts and Nevis, dual citizenship is allowed, which means that, say, if they had, I've not shown any children here, but say they had children very well settled abroad, they could also become a citizen of that country. It's easier becoming a citizen of, say, US or any other jurisdiction after you become a citizen of St. Kitts and Nevis or any of the Caribbean nations. The US is, of course, very popular. They have a very strong program, which is an investment-based program called the EB-5. It is investment heavy, but you get your investment back. It is $800,000 US, which has to be invested into a construction company which employs 10 people on a regular basis. This investment has to be kept for a 4-year period, at the end of which you get a green card. So this is one of the fastest paths to green card for those families that are, say the Usals are into. Mr. Usal is an IT entrepreneur. He does a lot of business with the US. Mrs. Usal is a homemaker, and their daughter is a 9th grade student in school in India. They are looking at this opportunity so that their daughter can come at an equal footing with all the other applicants looking for a job after she graduates her college. Also, the college fees are 1/4. She's considered, once she gets a green card, she's considered almost a US citizen. So the college fees become 1/4. That's a substantial saving. And the green card allows her to work in the US without having to apply for an H-1B and be dependent on the employer. So she has the freedom and the right to select the employer of her choice rather than the other way around, which binds a lot of people into certain jobs that they don't necessarily want to do. So that's where the US EB-5 visa is very important, and obviously gives you access to the top schools and universities of the US. That was my session. We do a lot of countries, but I thought I'd keep it crisp. Open to any questions that you may have.
There is one question, Bhairav, if you would like to take it up. It is from Tina, and she's asking, which country is the host favorite country currently?
Well, that's a very open-ended question. People who come to us prefer Portugal because it gives the optionality of citizenship. So after a 5-year residency period, which gives you access to the Schengen area, you get the optionality of citizenship. So the hot favorite currently would be Portugal. But it depends on what your requirements are. So we don't push any particular program to any person. It depends on the requirements of what they have. So some people might want to go to Canada, others want it for global mobility, others want to set up a holding company. Malta has become extremely popular for blockchain and digital asset space enthusiasts and entrepreneurs. So they want to go there. We don't push any particular country, but yes, Portugal, to answer the question, Portugal is extremely popular. I see some more questions coming in here. What about Germany? Is that good to go? Germany, unfortunately, doesn't have a program at the moment for residency or citizenship. So it's if you're looking at opportunities there, you have to go through the traditional route, which is apply for a work permit and then explore it. Is the amount that we are paying refundable? And yes, the US EB-5 800K, most of the investments in these programs are refundable. You get them back. In fact, with 800,000 US, you also get 2 to 4% interest. So that's a bit of upside that you can enjoy. The only thing is it is blocked for about 4 years, right? So obviously you need to have that kind of monies to spare, and it's not eating it into your sort of working capital. Can't we go to Germany? We specialize in residence and citizenship by investment planning. We don't do study visas. I believe there could be other people. There are education consultants which can assist you in that. We are not education consultants. We give you the larger sort of document, which is either a PR or an indefinite leave to remain or even a citizenship to enjoy the education system of that particular country. Is UK good for masters? Because now UK is not safe for students because of inflation. The UK, in fact, although I'm not a specialist in the education bit, the UK has a very good program which allows you to work as well. So you can gain and legally work in the UK while you do your master's program. So you can explore that with an education consultant. I can share my contact details. Sure, I can put that on the screen here. So those of you who would like to contact me can do so.
Bhairav, I suggest you put it up in the chat box so it remains during the session itself. So if anybody would want to take it up, then they can copy it from the chat box.
Done. I will do that. Any other questions?
I believe the session will go on. So if you have more questions, do put it up in the chat box and we'll take it up even further. So we move forward. Thank you so much, Bhairav. That was a very crisp presentation explaining us different countries. It excited me, and I'm planning to talk to Darshak and tell him that let's explore beyond India too. So that was cool. Good. Thank you so much.